$5. What keto items can we find for $5 or less at Aldi? Okay, sure, we can go in there and I could find you some chicken breasts, or I could find you some grass-fed beef, but we don't all want to go spend $12, $13 on beef right now. What if I just want to run in there and I want to find some really cool keto items that are just, I don't know, with simple pocket change? So let's go ahead, head on into Aldi and see what we can find. What's this? Okay, check this out. What are these? Benton's Keto Cookies, 0 grams net carbs. Check that out for $2.99. Okay, now let's see what's in it. Almond flour, erythritol, chocolate chips. Okay, let's see, cocoa butter, sunflower lecithin, vanilla extract, stevia leaf, coconut oil, butter, egg whites, natural vanilla flavors. All right, collagen added into it, baking soda. This is pretty good. It's really not bad. I'd say the worst thing that's in here is going to be the natural vanilla flavors, which are just a question mark. Wow, these are good, and they taste, or they feel crunchy. They don't feel like, a lot of them are gooey and soft. I don't really want gooey and soft. On keto, I miss the crunch. Like, that's really what I miss a lot of times. And then we have these from Benton's, which it's funny because these are 2 grams of net carbs. It's like these are crunchy and these are soft. Let's see, these have 9 grams of carbs, so it's 3. Okay, yeah, 0 grams net carbs. These are 2 grams net carbs. And the ingredients here are ground sunflower seeds. That's weird. They're using sunflower seeds as, and there's xylitol in them. Yeah, ground pumpkin seeds. This gets a unique award. I'm not a big xylitol guy. There's some potential evidence that xylitol can cross through the blood-brain barrier, which is interesting. Oh, and they got soy lecithin in there. Yeah, no, hands down. These crunchy cookies are the best. I'm gonna grab these. Man, I wish I had that quarter because I really do need a cart. Frustrating. Just under our $5 mark here. We have a couple different, okay, so we have, Keto Bar $4.99. The assorted variety one's $5.99. So we can't get that, but we can get this one. So let's look at this macadamia nut bar. See what's in it. Peanuts, tapioca fiber syrup, macadamia nuts, whey protein. We don't know if it's concentrate or isolate. I'm gonna assume it's probably concentrate. Dark chocolate coating, erythritol, inulin, cocoa butter, soy lecithin, vanilla, stevia, almonds, coconut oil, and sea salt. You know, not bad. The peanuts as the first ingredient are kind of interesting. Is it the same with the strawberry? Yeah, they're using peanuts as their main flour. That's the one thing I'm really not a big fan of. That's a pretty hefty level of lectins. Okay, lectins can trigger a leptin response in the body, essentially making it so they're kind of falsifying the communication between the fat cell and the brain. Could have an effect on the metabolism. Anyway, but then we see these that are trying to look like an Atkins bar for $3.99. I'm not gonna get, these are interesting. I don't think I'm gonna get them, but they're Thomas approved, just so you know. I just don't need more bars in my life right now. Let's take a look at these Elevation Keto Advantage, because these are $3.99, even a little bit cheaper. Coconut, preserved with sulfites. Ooh, I am glad they disclosed that. Sulfites are not exactly the best thing. They can make you feel really cruddy. If you've ever felt the wine headache that you get after having wine, yes, that's the sulfites. So it definitely can make you feel garbagey. And the dark chocolate coating is maltitol. So that's a sugar alcohol we want to avoid. More maltitol. Then the fiber blend is polydextrose, which is a resistant form of dextrose. Whey protein isolate, I like that. Glycerin, natural flavor, and sucralose. Okay, yeah. Wait, did this one? What did this say what the sweetener was? Yeah, this one's erythritol. It's interesting. So they're definitely trying to like go off of like, that even looks like an Atkins bar. Like, it's kind of funny how they've just done that there. And it's funny because this looks like a white labeled version of an RX bar. I think that's what's happening here. I think we got some white labeling going on here at Aldi. Okay, so anyway, this one is a less than $5 snack you can get. This one, do not get that one. Okay, these come up in question a lot. So these are low carb tortillas. So we have 11 grams of carbs, 7 which is fiber. By a macronutrient standpoint, this would work. What is unfortunate is it's still enriched wheat flour. What they've done here is, don't really worry about thiamine mononitrate, not too worried about that. Modified wheat starches, wheat gluten, vegetable shortening, which are using palm oil. And then in this case, if it's shortening, so it's confusing. So vegetable shortening is usually hydrogenated, but it's not disclosing it. And it doesn't say we have trans fat, so I don't think it's hydrogenated. Okay, but we still have all the wheat flour in here doing the thing. I'm trying to figure out what's making it lower carb. It's the modified wheat starch. There you go. So basically what they've done is they've modified wheat starch to make it essentially a resistant starch. They could do this with a lot of different starches, but they do it with wheat. And unfortunately, that just doesn't really fly for me. Now, if you aren't worried about the wheat thing, if you're not worried about the gluten, stuff like that, I'm sure it's fine for you if you're still eating gluten. But one of the reasons I think people feel good when they first start keto or when they do keto in general is it's getting rid of a lot of the inflammatory foods. It's getting rid of those things. And foods by nature are inflammatory, but there's some that we're more sensitive to. And with things like gluten, a lot of times what you run into is, well, I should say with keto in general, you come off of keto and by nature, you are eating more whole foods. You're eating closer to the earth and that just happens. So you end up eating less of the bread, less of the wheat, things like that. And by nature, you feel very good with that. So I think that's a lot of the situation. And then I just noticed there's this one, which is the same kind of situation, low carb whole wheat tortillas, same kind of thing, only 3 grams of net carbs. In this case, we have water. At least this one's using oat fiber, but still have the whole wheat flour, and then we have the soy flour coming in. And then expeller pressed canola oil. So really just a lot of iffy stuff in that. All right, you've always got pork rinds as an inexpensive option. So never ever discount that. 92 cents, under $5, you are absolutely good to go with that. You could get 5 of those. Edamame spaghetti. Definitely something, well, that's the wrong one. Edamame spaghetti is only $2.39. 20 grams of carbs, 13 of which is fiber. Okay, organic edamame bean flour. So it's coming from green soybeans. What's interesting is that soybeans, soy flour, and soy oil are completely different worlds, okay? There's only a little bit of fat in this. You're not getting a whole lot of the actual omega-6s. You're not getting a lot of the not so good polyunsaturated fats. And people are gonna say, I don't want edamame, I don't want soy. In this case, at least it's non-GMO, it's not organic. But what's interesting is it is a very powerful resistant starch, believe it or not. So even though there are 13 grams of fiber and you're left with 7 grams of carbs, it is such a resistant starch that it's delaying the digestion of it significantly. So would I recommend you eat this every day? No, but if you wanted to have some pasta and try it out, it's definitely worth a shot, and it does taste pretty good. Costco was carrying a brand of that for a while. Again, I don't have a cart because I forgot a quarter because I'm an idiot, but this is something that's under $5 that is definitely going to level up keto every now and then, give you some pasta to have. I don't want you being afraid of edamame, honestly. You're not eating it every day. The soy thing, it's mainly the issue with the soybean oil and the heavily GMO soy. So whenever you have something that is very high fiber like this, what that means is the gut bacteria within your gut are going to break that fiber down. Fiber is indigestible. And in some cases you have some soluble fibers here, and you also, like I mentioned, have the resistant starches. They're resistant to our digestion, but the bacteria within our gut break them down. Okay, you have certain bacteria that are called feeders. They eat the bacteria, and then you have things like bifidobacterium, which are called cross feeders. They come in and they feed on the byproducts of the initial bacteria breaking food down. It's a very complex system. As a result of that, then you have cross feeding that occurs additionally, and new bacteria come in and consume. Long story short is your end result is something called short chain fatty acids. These are things like if you ever see butyrate, propionate, acetate, or people talking about that in the scientific community, they are short chain fatty acids that are formed as a result of our gut bacteria essentially being happy, okay? Those suckers, those short chain fatty acids influence heavily our glucose metabolism. They can influence fatty acid oxidation. They can influence what is called, I'm gonna get nerdy with you, peptide YY, PYY, as well as glucagon-like peptide 1, which has a significant effect on our hunger and our satiety. So supporting our microbiome is huge. Okay. So supporting our microbiome is huge. And today's video sponsor in light of the microbiome is a company called Seed. That is the probiotic that I use personally, and they are an awesome sponsor on this channel, sponsor of this video. Okay, and what it is the Synbiotic. So it's a double capsule formula. There's a capsule inside of a capsule. Really interesting. So it's ensuring really good survivability of the bacteria when you take it, which is not something you find with probiotics. So there is a link down below, and that'll save you 15% off. You just use that code Thomas15. So if you're interested at all in microbiome diversity, if you're learning about the gut, check them out because they've got so much research and so many bodies of evidence on their site that you can check out. Anyway, that link is down below if you want to try them as my preferred probiotic and what I would recommend, and today's awesome sponsor. So thank you, Seed, down below in the description. Speaking of fiber, awesome just to have some flax seed meal and some regular flax seeds there. Not exactly something you're just gonna go and start devouring, but I would recommend every time you're baking, anything like that, mix a little bit of the flax seeds into it too. Now, first ingredient, sugar in that. Okay, I thought because, oh, here's a sugar-free one. No high fructose corn syrup. I'm curious what they use in their pudding here. Yeah, still first ingredient, modified food starch. It's almost higher glycemic than sugar. That's what's funny. So when you see things like this, you see sugar-free on here. Okay, there's no sugar in it, but modified food starch and maltodextrin are higher glycemic than sugar. So in essence, we're really not doing ourselves much good. So when you see the modified food starch and stuff like that, just beware. Oh, here's an awesome keto option under $5. That is a really good price. Okay, like I love Primal Kitchen, I love that brand, and I love Chosen Foods, I love that brand, but you're gonna pay like $7. This $3.49 for avocado oil spray, as long as there's nothing else in there. Nope, it's pure avocado oil. Now, the coconut oil spray, that's not as much of a value. I can get this at Trader Joe's, Aldi's essentially sister store. I can get that for I think $2.50. So $3.50 for avocado oil, that is epic. Okay, I think I'm gonna grab one of those. That's a really good deal. Higher smoke point, high in what's called excuse me, I always get twisted on that, especially with a mask on. High in what is called oleic acid, which converts into OEA. Okay, what that does is that activates PGC1A. Okay, so that also activates brown fat. So it means the fat that is in our body that is metabolically active becomes more thermogenically active when you consume things like avocado oil and olive oil. Definitely fat burning foods, if you ask me. Oh, here we go, check this out. What is this? $2.99 for Keto Crackers. Man, this is weird. There's definitely some knockoff stuff going on. Or, again, white labeling. 4 grams of net carbs. Let's see what's in these. Almond flour, cheddar cheese, cheese cultures, salt, enzymes, annatto coloring, tapioca starch, sesame seeds, dried egg whites, poppy seeds, dried garlic, black. These are the cleanest keto crackers I've seen in a long time. And that's for the everything one. So almond flour, cheddar cheese, actual real cheese, annatto for vegetable coloring. Tapioca starch is the worst ingredient here, and that's not even bad. Sesame seeds, dried egg whites. The carb content's a tad high, 4 grams of net carbs. Now I want to see this one. Almond flour, cheddar cheese, salt, enzymes, annatto, tapioca. It's the same thing. Which one do you want, JR? Do you want everything bagel or do you want cheddar?
Cheddar.
Cheddar it is. That is cool. Okay, sweet. I love when this happens because that is pretty awesome. Okay, it's not the same company, right? No, Savorites and Benton's. It's so weird. I love the perishable section of Aldi. Yeah, I love the perishable section of any store because I feel like that's where the clean stuff is, right? Like, what do I have here? I have processed stuff and some avocado oil spray, right? I'm not getting that much like nutritional value, and I'm aware of that, okay? I'm much bigger on like going around the rim of the store. Oh man, why aren't these under $5? What's this? Wahlburgers fresh dill chips. Oh, I love pickles. Grillos, they have Grillos. Yes, these are expensive for Grillos. I get them, that one's leaking. I get these at Costco, but I don't get them in the strips, I get them in the spears. Cucumbers and their brine, which is water, distilled vinegar, salt, garlic, dill, and grape leaves. That's it, okay? So if you're looking for a keto snack, trust me, pickles could be interesting. And here's a hot tip for you, and I've talked about this in a couple of recent videos. A lot of times when you're hungry on keto, it's a salt thing. You're deficient in salt because your insulin levels are lower, so your body is excreting sodium along with water. What's called angiotensin 2 and things like that elevate. Angiotensin 2 is a hormone, but it acts as a neurotransmitter. Goes to the region of your brain called the hindbrain, and it actually inhibits the region of the brain that would normally stop salt cravings. So what happens is, and that's a very abbreviated way of putting it, they're called NST neurons. Basically, when you are deficient in salt or you crave salt, it makes you crave all kinds of things because you just want to do whatever you can to get that salt in. So these are a low calorie way to just get that salt in. Okay, I would recommend them immensely. Oh, this is cool. They got all kinds of like, oh man, it's under, I want to see it though. artichoke stuffed. Only 6 grams of carbs. Chicken breast, what's in this? Broccoli, water, caramelized, and breadcrumbs. Why do you have the breadcrumbs? What about the artichoke one? Artichoke is even better if you ask me. 7 grams of carbs. Come on, please, no wheat flour. Why? That was gonna be so cool. This is kind of cool though. I've never seen these before. Or maybe I've just overlooked them, I don't know. Whoa, this is cool too. Not under $5. You just want some chicken breast though? Oh, they have rice starch added to it. That's not the best thing, but you absolutely can get a snack on the road and just get some chicken breast, right? Fried halloumi. I bet you these are fried in, wait, no way. Pasteurized milk, salt, microbial enzyme, wait. Cheese fries? Oh, I don't think they're already fried. I think they're, this is interesting. Okay, so it's halloumi. So halloumi doesn't melt. So it's also a good fatty acid cheese. Okay, so obviously there's only cheese in here. But what's cool about halloumi, it's a relatively lower sodium cheese, but it doesn't melt, so you can grill it, okay? Or you can put it in a deep fryer. So definitely a cool keto find. In fact, that is something that is going to satisfy a lot of your cravings. If you have not tried halloumi, the protein content is quite high too. 7 grams of protein for 1 ounce. That's really not bad, okay? I'm definitely getting that. I've got an air fryer, I'm gonna give that a shot. Maybe bread it in some almond flour, see what happens. Okay, and they have the crapinis, under $5. These are great when it comes down to just being able to have something to make a sandwich with or make a wrap. Obviously very keto friendly. Egg white, whole egg, cauliflower powder, olive oil, sea salt, xanthan gum. Super easy. These guys, definitely a quick snack under $5. Coffee plus MCT oil. All we have is organic coffee, water, organic medium chain triglyceride oil, so MCT, and organic acacia. Very straightforward, very easy. Definitely a quick, easy keto snack. Caffeine is going to keep you satiated. The MCT oil has a nice adrenaline effect. Also helps you produce ketones, which keep you satiated. Okay, now there is a balsamic glaze in there, which is definitely going to bring the carb content up. But even with the balsamic glaze, yeah, because it's got, if you look at there, balsamic, Brussels sprouts, balsamic glaze, balsamic vinegar, wine vinegar, concentrated grape must, cooked grape must, caramel color, contains sulfites, non-GMO expeller pressed canola, sugars, and you know what? I could have dealt with a little bit of the sugar. I really could have from the balsamic glaze, because chances are the glaze goes over, and I could put, let's see, here's how we find out. Remove frozen product from packaging and saute, okay? Let rest 1 to 2 minutes before serving. Remove frozen product from okay, it looks like it already has the balsamic glaze mixed into it. So that means there's no getting away from those sugars in there. Okay, but I could deal with that a little bit, have a small amount of it, but the canola oil, the other stuff, it's just too much. Wait a minute, what's this? Kung Pao broccoli. Sweet and spicy ginger sauce. Yeah, 25 grams of carbs, 8 grams of fiber. So in this whole thing, we've got, so in a serving, we have 9 grams of carbs, we have 6 grams of net carbs. That's actually acceptable. Let's see what's in it. Water, sugar, fermented soybean paste. That's kind of typical. Sesame oil, cornstarch, soy sauce. That's what you gotta look for. Any kind of Asian flair, you gotta be careful. See the soy sauce, water, wheat. I don't do gluten, so this isn't gonna fly. You're better off to just get broccoli, straight broccoli, get coconut aminos, and just zip it up with some coconut aminos and a little bit of ginger, powdered ginger, something like that. It's delectable, it's perfect, it's all you need. All right, I think that recaps it pretty well. I don't see anything else up here. Oh yeah, they got these. See, what do you know? Almost walked right by them. $2.65, definitely a $5 or less snack. The only thing in there, aged Parmesan cheese. That's it. Compare that though to the cheddar one. We have cheddar cheese, we have aged Parmesan cheese as an also mixed, but the cheddar one has cassava flour in it. I remember this from a previous video. So with this one, I have plenty of Parm Crisps at my house. Go for the straight Parm Crisps because all it is dried cheese. So super awesome. In fact, I'll support them, I'll get them. Well, it looks like we're gonna be in this line for a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and spare you the time, spare you the details, spare you all the wait, but I got some basic stuff, and clearly you've seen there are some quick, easy $5 grab and go items at Aldi, even if you're doing keto. As always, keep it locked in here on my channel. I'll see you tomorrow.